Right in here. Hi.
You guys may want to check your name. It automatically goes to Sherry if you're not familiar with that by now. For whatever reason, if somebody can solve that problem, I will name my next grandchild after you.
Okay, you're going to name your next grandchild Louise. This is the solution to the problem. Have her re-register on a unique link. So all they have to do is register with the meeting ID and the participant code. Do you have the initial registration for this?
I don't know. I would like to have something like dennygrimesmastery.com or whatever. So, rather than I'd like to have a unique URL. Maybe you can help me with that. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll look into it.
1 second. All right. Yes, let me get my desk down a little bit. It's 1 o'clock here, Eastern. And Louise, I'm going to make you co-host here really fast. You can.
Sure.
Keeps moving around. Here we go. 1 minute. There you go.
Thank
And
you.
How to let people in. Welcome everybody. Denny Grimes. It's Friday, February 2nd. Time for Mastery Roleplay. And you guys, if you're new here or you want to share the QR code, there it is. I show it on Recon. I know a lot of you guys are on Recon. Recon is that URL. That's a Keller Williams event that I host with John and some of you other folks every day. Today is going to be Mastery. Whatever you want to do, we're going to go another level deep, spend a little bit more time on conversations or objections. You can have requests from the floor. There is no judgment here. We only improve. It is February 2nd, so let's get started. I know that we had one request from Louise. I think you had something come up that you wanted to talk about. So we can begin there, you guys, and then use the chat. Very informal, but we're just kind of a family here. Small group, probably less than 20 or 30. So Louise, what is the objection you wanted to cover today?
All right. So the situation is an agent referred someone that they know to me to sell their home. This is a person who's in the service and they're transferring, relocating, right? So we had an appointment scheduled for this afternoon at 2, a listing appointment, or at 3. And when I called this morning to confirm, the woman said that she learned that someone in her unit has a spouse who is an agent, so she's going to go with them. And I said, okay. All right, I didn't say okay. I said, I understand. That's very nice of you. And may I ask, other than that, would we still meet? And she said, yeah. She said she just wanted to help the family. I said, well, then what about this? Why don't we still meet? And you can, I said, I'm sure you would like the best outcome, right? So she agreed to meet with me. We're meeting on Sunday. And I would just like to be prepared when I meet with her on Sunday.
Okay. Well, good job of getting back into the game, right?
Thank you.
What do you think of the possibility is between now and Sunday, she is going to get cold feet or the other agents and she'll cancel the.
I think as long as she doesn't sign something, I'm fine.
Now, is this going to be an agent that's going to buy something or sell?
Sell.
Okay, so have they already met with their friend on a listing presentation?
I didn't get that information. It seems like she didn't, but that she's going to meet with them and get it.
Okay, I believe there's a lot of wisdom and a lot of brains. We have a lot of brains here. So before I just do all the gabbing, if you heard and understand the situation, she was referred to someone. Now that someone basically has been approached by someone that they know, she was able to keep the appointment. How would you handle it now? The appointment Sunday. Now that should be a danger sign. That's way too much time for something to change. what kind of advice would we give Louise? And we can have even a role play on this here in a moment. So who's got a suggestion for Louise?
And that's the earliest time to meet with her in person.
Right?
I tried to schedule it as soon as possible, but physically that would be the first time I can meet with her.
Got it. So I see Sherry, that's not your name. You'll have to go ahead and change your name. So I have your hand up, Sherry.
Oh,
Go ahead.
hold on a second. I'm trying to get back to the picture. I was typing you the message. Well, then I'll just say it. Could she drop off a listing package for her to review? And, we'll follow up so you have some pertinent information before I get there on Sunday.
Okay, so that's going through my mind. I don't know how far this property is away from where you are. Maybe it's in Wellington, the neighborhood you're going to move into one day.
It's
Is
near
that-
Wellington, yeah.
Is there a way that you can somehow, although the appointment's not till Sunday, how can you impact her between now and then?
That's a good idea. And I'm not prepared in that I don't have a pre-listing packet. And I could send her a list of questions to ask any agent that she interviews, because I would be prepared to answer all of those.
Mhm.
My
Any-
suspicion is that I'm more senior, with more experience, so that would be a strength.
See, what should be going through your mind right now is that there's this very dangerous time. That the other agent there's a personal connection, or maybe they're a sharp agent. I don't know. Is that you're going to get the dreaded call? Hey, look, I'm just going to go with the other agent. The path of least resistance. So making some sort of contact. Anybody have any other suggestions?
And I'm also going to call the agent that referred me to her, or referred her to me, that knows her, so that he can also work that angle.
All right, that's awesome. Any more?
So I think, Louis, if you can, since you're a season, and you might want to just create like a cloud over the other agent. Like I have, I don't know maybe don't you want a second opinion? Even though
That's how I got, yeah, that's how I got the appointment on Sunday. That's how I was able to get it rescheduled.
What's the reason they're meeting on Sunday and they cannot meet with anybody before that?
I don't know that they can't. I don't know that she won't, but she's in the service. Someone in her unit has a spouse who is an agent, and she said she was going to use the spouse to help the family out
When was your original appointment with them? Today at 2, right?
at 3. Mhm.
At 3.
And her work schedule changed, so she would have rescheduled that anyway,
Oh, okay.
unless when it changed in that schedule.
Well, you do have, I think you've got some sort of 6 or 8 point program you have. Even if you had something you could drop off and there's a face-to-face, it's going to be a little harder to call and cancel on you once they meet you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
So
I
there's
haven't
no way to, yeah, there's no way to get a face-to-face today. I tried that. She said
it doesn't have
she
to
could
be today, but it could be before Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, is that helpful? Let us know how you do.
Did you say before you make, I'm gonna meet you on Sunday, before you make any decision, can you give me the opportunity to hear me out before you sign anything?
So I could tell I piqued her interest when I didn't say, meet with me, do this for me. I said, and I'm sure you would like the best outcome, right? So why don't we do this? Why don't we still meet?
Can I see that in the day?
Right. And so I piqued her curiosity when I mentioned the results and the outcome.
Well, what you want to do is keep that emotion high. So that's why some sort of meeting drop off. I was in the neighborhood. And I made some macaroni and cheese.
She's like physically not there. She's like in Miami. And
I got it. Okay. Well,
I would, if she were, I would absolutely do that.
okay. Well, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. I was in the neighborhood and I went by the subject. I went by your house and I just wanted to get, I'm prepared for our meeting on Sunday. Take a picture of it, text it to her. Now you're letting her know that you're there, you're working, and she might feel guilty about canceling on you now that you're doing so much work.
I like
Did you
that.
ask for a Zoom call?
I don't know if she's gonna get another call. I think that's kind of like, anyway, I think you have some information to go on and see if something like that get sticky. Get sticky. Now your hand is up. Is there something else you'd like to role play
Yep.
today?
That was it. Thank you.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so Dr. Lauren, what are we doing today?
I can work on some for sale by owners.
Well, I would love to be able to work on some conversations at the table if that's okay.
Yeah, they would be me coming to them. Let's say on the phone they agreed to have me come through. They said that they're not really interested in working with agents, but I just wanted to come by and preview the property.
Beautiful. All right. So you walk through the home, and I'm going to skip you over. Tanner, you'll be next, but I'm going to skip you over to Susan because she makes a lot of these calls. Susan, you will be the seller. You've just taken her through the home. And now Lauren says, hey, can we sit and chat a little bit? Go. 3 minutes.
Okay, so Susan, is it okay thank you so much again for opening up your home. Is it okay if we just sit and chat a little bit?
Sure. I don't have too much time.
Great. I promise I will not take up too much of your time. One thing that I would like to offer you, as you mentioned on the phone, you're not quite ready to work with an agent yet. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay. And how long are you going to wait to have the home sit on the market before you decide to work with a strong agent?
What do you mean? It's gonna sell.
Okay, and I'm sure it might. But if it doesn't, what's your plan B going to be?
I don't have plan B, but I'm certain that it will sell.
Okay, no plan B. And what is the reason why you decided to sell the home by yourself?
Well, certainly I don't feel that I need to pay that much commission.
Okay, so are you interested in saving money or in making money?
Well, what do you mean by that?
Well, a great agent is going to really do work for free essentially and get you more net on your overall price of your home. Can I explain to you how I would do that?
Sure.
Okay. Well, there's ways that we market your home, and if we can strategically price your home to get into a position where there could potentially be a bidding war amongst the buyers, then we can really try to drive up the price on the home.
Let's stop for a moment. I'm going to pause a conversation because this is mastery. We can talk about this. I might do a little bit more teaching and tell you what I think about it.
Okay.
Let's talk about that strategy. I guess it's a strategy. If you get, all right, so if you get multiple offers on a home, can you market a home to a point where you can get multiple offers?
Market the home or strategically price the home?
Market it.
Market it. I don't think you can market it to do that.
What you just said was we'll market it and we'll get multiple offers. Now, if you're going to do that and promise that, what's the likelihood that you would have to price it uber competitively to get multiple offers?
Yes, correct.
What's the likelihood that that price would be significantly lower than the unassisted seller is probably wanting or asking?
Right, potentially, yeah.
So, I mean, they want, all right, I'll use Susan's numbers. They want, 1.2 million for their 2-bedroom, 2-bath in California. And it may be worth on the market in order to get multiple offers. You might have to list it under $1 million. Can you see the challenge in that conversation?
Yes.
That is kind of like walking uphill both ways.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's such a thing. That's walking to school uphill both ways. The other issue is when you're having the role play and she says, well, I'm going to try to sell it myself. What if it doesn't? One more thing I'll give you. There is no question a seller can sell the home by themselves. Don't just concede that point.
Right.
It's just how much money are they going to leave on the table. So don't argue with them the fact that they can't do it. I'm sure you can do it. It's just how much money are you willing to leave on the table? That's one of those thought-provoking questions, because they will tell, hey, back, a couple of years ago, I did it. I sold it myself. My friends down the street sold it themselves. Yes. How much money do they leave on the table? That's the question you have to go to paying. Right. Then basically she wants to save the commission. If you're going to go down that road, you notice you ask, hey, save money, make money. That was a good question. We use it all the time. What's logically the next step? Because they're attempting to save this pile of money, which is a slab of salami. Then you go to the deli, they're gonna slice it. What are we gonna
Mhm.
start doing with a slab of salami,
Cutting it down.
right? And what's the first big cut chunk that comes off that?
The end.
The buyer's agents, the
There you
buyer.
go.
Right.
So start slicing it down, and then that's an easier way, I think, of helping them understand. Versus going, well, hey, tell you what, my marketing program is so great, we'll get multiple offers. Well, again, you're only going to do that if you lower the price to a point where they probably never hired in the first place. Any
Right.
comments on what I'm saying?
I love what you're saying. It really, like you say, is really thought provoking. When you ask them, take them, how much money you're gonna leave on the table, and that's exactly why when we ask the question, are you interested in saving money, or what was the other one? Saving money
Or making money?
or making money. So Denny, I have a hard time understanding that concept because ultimately, when you as a for sale by owner, you want to save money, right? And then you want to make money. So to me, that's kind of like a rhetorical question. But then there's a what do you mean? So that's why I asked her when she said that question. I threw it back at her. What do you mean? So you better have something to back it up. And that's exactly why you kind of like break that question apart. So it help me understand this. Are you interested in saving money or making money?
Okay, so let's talk about that. And that's a great question. And there could be a lot of different examples. So I'm just going to use something right in front of me. Like, okay, I have a Yeti cup here. You all know what Yeti brand is. Do we pay more for these than a lot of the cups you see out there?
Sure.
Yeah.
I can put my, this is a water with a little bit of grape juice in it. So I will have ice in this till tomorrow. Yet a lot of cups won't keep the beverage hot or cold. So if someone was looking for quality, let's say making money, is it possible they hire a cheap agent, and the cheap agent, number one, doesn't have negotiating skills, and they'll end up with less money in the long run. So you buy a cheap cup instead of spending the extra $15 for a Yeti, then you throw away the cheap cup and buy the Yeti, you're out $15. So you can have quality or you can have cheap price, but you can't have both. Somebody else come up with an example of anything. Anything works. Somebody help us with another.
I've got a great one.
All right, go.
So you can buy coffee for 99 cents at the gas station. However, there's a line at Starbucks every day of the week. Why is that?
Or, if I would say that how, if they're looking to save money with a discount agent, I would ask them, how can somebody make less and help you earn more?
Love that. I actually like that. It's very to the point.
Say it again. Say it again in case somebody was playing Candy Crush, missed it.
So how can somebody make less for themselves and help you get more at the end of the day?
That's beautiful.
Nice job, Tanner. 3-point shot, nothing but net. So, all right. So I'm going to give you back a minute, Dr. Lauren.
Okay.
Let's work on the salami, okay?
Okay. I'm going to go back to the statement after she says that she's going to do it herself. Oh.
She wants to save money. Say, well, all right. No, go back to the question. Yeah. Do you want to save money or make money?
Right. Do you want some?
Then I say, what do you mean?
Okay. What do I mean by that? Well,
Use tanners.
yeah. Okay. I like that idea. I like using tanners. So how can someone make less money for themselves and make you more money?
Ooh, that sting me. Well, what do you mean? I mean, like, I'm trying to save commission and I'm gonna net more.
Okay. Well, are you aware of 3 different types of buyers that are out there?
Huh? What do you mean by that?
Okay. Well, you have one set of buyers. They're just looky-loos. They're not really working with any serious agents. Okay. They're not likely to give you a high price on your home. Would you agree?
Yeah.
You're going down a road that's going to be a lot. That's not a very direct road. There's 4 types of buyers.
Oh, 4 types of buyers. Okay.
Yes, but again, the question you should be asking right now, assuming you got her with a save money, make money. So let me ask you, let's just start here. If I were to bring you a buyer, are you willing to pay my broker a fee?
Okay. Yes. Oh, Susan, yeah.
Yeah,
And what is that fee?
2%.
Okay, and so then is most likely that's going to happen. So then is it true then you're really attempting to, by going and selling it yourself, you're attempting to save 2% of the listing side?
Yes.
Okay, now okay, now you just sliced the bologna in half. Now what?
Go for the kill.
So if you're willing to save, well, I typically go down the road of if you're essentially hiring someone to negotiate against you, but I don't think that that's where that 2% was going.
No, all right, so I'll demonstrate this. If the house is already on the market, now if it's not on the market, what is the first thing a seller has to do if they're going to go alone? They're going to have to determine what the asking price is. So let's just assume. So so if somebody doesn't do this every day, Susan, is it possible a seller like you might position the home, let's say just 1% lower or higher than it should be?
Yeah.
And that could affect your bottom line by 1%, correct?
Yes.
So the 2% you're attempting to save, half of that's gone just on your initial asking price. And so what happens if what's the second point? Is that the offer comes in with another agent. That agent basically is working for the buyer.
Right.
So how does the buyer's agent make their buyers feel good?
Yeah.
Susan.
It doesn't because they get no percentage.
Well, I mean, you're going to pay them 2%, but for these buyers may have been working with this agent for some length of time, might even be friends or family or past customers. What is their goal? What is the agent's goal when working with a buyer?
Get them a home.
You get the best
For the
price.
lowest price. Yeah, for the
Get
best
lowest
price.
price. And that makes them feel good because they have a relationship with them. Is it possible, seller, in your situation, because you have no one representing you, you might agree to a price that may be a 0.5% or even 1% lower than if you had a professional negotiator. So the 2% you're attempting to save is gone already. Or, all right, so what if the house, somebody take the conversation, she's meeting with Susan, it's already been on the market 3 weeks. How would you handle it now?
Well, your house been on the market for 3 weeks. How long are you going to have the house on the market, or how long will you not become a seller? How long are you going to wait before you become not a seller?
Well, I mean, let's slice the bologna. So Susan, you've been on the market 3 weeks. And have you had any offers that are acceptable? Now, you already know the answer to that question, right?
Right.
So
why about to ask that?
So the market is telling you no. At some point in time, you're going to have to reposition. You're at 1.2. Well, you're at 1.2 right now. What are you going to reposition it to?
Can I interject something?
Yeah, Jeff.
So when that comes up for me, I already have this prepared, and I talk to them about, well, what's the cost of not listing with me? And I go through the cost of how long their property's been on the market and what it's costing them and what it's going to future cost them to keep it on the market and not get it sold. And how much money they're throwing away that they could have gotten it sold already by a professional and not paid that money.
All right. Well, that really works great, particularly if the property is sitting there and they're not living in it. Because obviously they're living in it, they got to make mortgage payments somewhere. However, you can slice the bologna or you can add on the cost. And the bottom line is, what do I always say, guys? a great listing agent is free. A great listing agent is free to a seller. We just have to be able to articulate that value proposition. So, any ahas on that? We'll go on to something else. So Tanner, you're up, and looks like I see Sherry's name there. I don't know. You're up. You're going to be on deck, Sherry, but I don't know what your real name is because it just defaults to Sherry. So Tanner, what are we doing?
Danny, I'd like to do like a wild card. Anything but sellers, has to be sellers.
It's no seller.
What sellers? It has to be a seller.
All right. Does anybody have a wild card they would love to hear Tanner do? Maybe it's something you're working on right now, or you had an appointment, you got one coming up.
I have, I actually went on a listing appointment last week and then he calls me back. Now he wants to fight with me with commission. So, he has to net certain dollar amount, let's say 1 million. He needs to net 1 million so he could buy his new house outright. And the market doesn't support what he's asking for. Basically, he needs to net 1 million, so I had to price the property at 1.2 or 1.3 million, so he could pay off all the expenses.
I got it. I got it. All right, you might as well be that. We'll go to Sherry next. All right, so is this going to be sitting down at the table?
Yes, it's going there in about
There you go, Tanner. You asked for a wild card. You got one. Go.
All right, Susan, I understand. Other than this, other than my fee, is there anything else that would prevent us from doing business today?
Is this a fee thing or a net thing?
I think it was the commission. No, that's what I.
Okay, go.
It seemed like it was, a combination of both.
Other than the professional fees, well, I need to net 1 million so I could buy my home, and that I cannot sell.
I understand. And Susan, could you just elaborate the best scenario for you with this sale? What are you exactly hoping to accomplish?
I don't understand the question.
Well, he's asking me what I'm trying to accomplish to sell the property. So, Tanner, when you came over last week, I told you that I have cancer and I want to live the rest of my life buying this free, and I don't want to have a mortgage. And obviously, I have a $400,000 leftover mortgage, and I'm gonna walk away. I want to pay that off, and then buy a new house.
So, what are you hoping to walk away at the end?
I'm hoping to buy this house. This new house is about $1 million, and I need to net $1 million.
You said you have $100,000 balance on the mortgage. Am I wrong?
And that includes everything. So I need to net $1 million. So I could take that 1 million to buy another house for about $1 million. It was $1,015,000, I'd say.
Okay, so how much is the new house? Just like, how much does the new house cost?
All right, I'm going to stop. This is getting way too deep into the weeds. Hang on.
I'm just trying to figure out the number.
You're getting way in. The numbers don't even matter right now. Susan, here, let me get right to the heart. What if the market says no and won't do it?
I just asked him that because, well,
role play.
Okay.
I don't want to know what you did.
Well, I don't know, but this is what. Well, then I'll wait until a couple of years to sell it until the market picks up. Okay,
if the market says no to that number, that does not allow you to net that number, what are you going to do?
I'll take it off the market and I'll just wait.
Okay, and how long would you expect it to be on the market? And if the market's saying no, how long will you leave it on the market before you give up and just wait?
Well, not too long because that I don't have much time.
Are you talking about physically?
You just got cancer.
Yes.
Well, I mean, this is kind of I don't know. I'm gonna stay away from that because that's a
Okay.
whole nother issue, and I don't want to get too direct on that. However, if you're going to keep it, so let me ask you, if you were going to move into something smaller, you were going to move into another place, right?
Yeah.
Why were you going to do that?
How? By me
Why?
selling this.
Why?
I want to leave LA and I want to go Washington State. I want to go to the Puget Sound.
Got it. So what if the market never gives you 1.2?
Well, that's my dream house. that I
So,
want.
but if the market says no, or what you're saying is that you will then basically live your whole life here. Notice I didn't say die here. You're going to live your whole life here.
Well, I don't want to. If I have to, I guess I will.
Today I talked on Recon. This is National Frank Day. Sometimes we have to have frank conversations with people. Listen, I would love to have hair like Brad Pitt. I lust after hair like Brad Pitt. I'm not going to get it unless I go get some plugs. So we have to have who can have a frank conversation. Listen, it's one way or the other. Then you know what? You're going to have to stay there. And all the reasons why you want to move, because you want to be in Washington or Oregon, you want to be with your kids, grandkids, you're going to say no. And then you can say, okay, well, let me, then I would probably go one more. I love this analogy. If you're driving down the road and you're going to Target to get groceries and you see a guy sitting in a parking lot fishing and his worm is on the blacktop, nowhere near water, what would you think?
Crazy.
That would be us at 1.2.
I love that. Okay.
Now, let me ask you, I'm not going to go any deeper on that. Are you okay just having a frank conversation? One of my mentors had this and said, look, I really need to sell. Well, then then let's sell. We're going to have to position it here. But I don't want to. Well, then stay. No, I have to move. Well, then position it here. Well, I don't want to. You see, it's either or. It's guns or butter, guys.
I like that. I really like that. Do you have to move? No, I want to move. Do you have to? I like that. Okay. I got that. I'm ready to rock and roll in about 2 hours.
Yeah, I'm looking into wigs and things. I'm never going to have Brad Pitt's hair. Okay. So sorry to stop you, Tanner. I didn't want to get everyone complicated in the numbers. It really is an attitude. You see, there are people out there that might get into a pickle financially where they have to short sell, or I mean, we've had a lot of that over the last 10 or 15 years. And they don't want to bring money to the table. Okay, well then stay. I can't afford it. Okay, well, then sell.
I mean,
You see, don't get balled up by their problems. All right. Thanks, Tanner. Susan, what is your was that yours or was that Tanner's? I forget. That was Tanner's. You're up.
it was
That
mine.
was mine.
Can I just share one quick thing, if you don't mind? And I had a similar situation. It was the lady who was hoping for this number, and we actually figured out that she doesn't necessarily need that number to accomplish her goal. It just like they think I really have to sell it for that number specifically to get it, and we sold it for way less, and we got her the place. So a lot of times that's why I was trying to figure out the number exactly in the beginning.
But
Yeah,
does he even have a place already? Like, why is that would be the question, has he found a place for $1 million? And then if so, how long is he willing to wait and let that place that's perfect for him no longer be on the market because he doesn't want to sell his home at, the price that the market's saying? That would be some suggestions to add to that too.
Yeah, found him a place that would cost less than what she's thinking about it, something like that.
Susan, what are we doing?
No, that was
So-
Susan.
Yeah, that was mine, but I do
Okay.
have another one. I've been
Oh, wait,
talking about.
let's see. Let's go around the imaginary hands, Louise. What do you see?
Oh, well, I see Lorraine and Ashley off camera. Are either one of them prepared to hop on?
I think McCall wants to do it. She's got a pretty groovy gig going with her in Tallahassee, I think it is, or Gainesville. One of the other.
Gainesville.
No, they're
What do you
all
want?
the same. One football team or another, they're all the same. All right, So
Hey.
she works with a lot of sellers,
What
so
you got?
let's give her a seller one. Ashley, why don't you give her a seller objection? You're at the table. Let's practice a little bit. Jeff, get ready. You're going to be coming up next. And is that Aurora? So, Ashley, you're a seller at the table. Give the call an objection.
Well, I like everything that you presented here, but I do have 2 other agents that I have agreed to meet with, so I will make a decision after I have met with everybody.
Okay, I understand. Tell me, what can I do to help you make a decision today?
Well, you know, everything you presented looks good, and yeah, I'm just gonna wait till I meet with those other 2 people, and we'll go from there.
So I'm curious if I've answered all of your questions and you like my presentation and are impressed with the services that I offer. What am I not doing for you that's preventing you from making a decision today?
Yeah, I mean, I guess everything looks good, and you know, you're the 3rd agent that I've met with, and I do like you the best. But with every agent, you know, I'm learning a little bit more and more, so I just want to make sure I'm not leaving anything on the table by not interviewing these other 2.
Okay, I understand that. So I'm curious, when you go to the grocery store and you have 5 different options, how do you make a decision on which one you're going to select? You're looking at your favorite cookies. You've got 5. How do you make a decision on which one is your favorite cookie?
Whichever one is speaking to me, to be honest.
Okay, so we're speaking right now. You've said that you like everything that I've presented. Out of the 3 agents that you've already interviewed so far, I'm your favorite. So I'm just curious, what do you think you're gonna, how do you think you're going to make a decision if you have 2 more people that you're considering? So now you're gonna have 5 different agents. What's gonna be the deciding factor?
Yeah, that's a good question. You know, who thinks that they can get me the most money is obviously of most importance and in the least amount of time.
Okay. So I'm curious, if I have presented the most confidence for you, you are pleased with my presentation. I'm still confused about what you're still holding out on to make a decision. Are you not necessarily motivated to sell soon? Do you still want time?
I'm going to be a little bit, I'm going to pause your time there a minute. You're 2.5, so you got 30 seconds. I'm going to pause a little bit. I think she gave you a clue. What did she say?
Oh, the net. Yeah, she wants
Net.
to net the most money.
Yes, and one more thing. Did you pick up on the fact of all the 3 people I've talked to, I like you best? Wouldn't a great question be, how did I win that position from the other 2? So you're going to let her describe what it is that puts you nose up, right? So you don't have to ask now, but that's the one thing I wanted to say. So you got 30 seconds. She gave you the clue. Who nets the most? Where would you go with that, McCall?
Okay. So your most important determining factor is you want to net the most money. So I am confident in my services that at the end of the day, my number 1 goal is to net you the most money. As a listing agent, that's all of our main goals. But I'm curious, I need to know what your number is. I don't think we've covered that.
So my number is 350, and if you can guarantee you'll net me at least 350, is there a way you can guarantee that for me?
That's 3 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, any feedback? Well, let's take a couple from the crowd. Feedback, please.
It's up. If
I think
you guarantee that, you know, service and that she's gonna be basically she's gonna do everything that she would love, and I think she could get it.
What else?
I liked McCall's pacing in terms of how she presented the questions. I thought that was really good and felt confident. So I think that was good, a plus.
I got excited when she started using an analogy on the cookies. I'm going to see where
Yes.
this goes, right?
Mhm.
So, I mean, it was good. It was a good reach there. So when she's saying, here's the thing. When whoever can net her the most, let's think about this for a little bit. How will she know?
She won't.
But she's going to have to make a decision. How
Ask,
will she know?
ask. Ashley, what criteria are you looking for in the agent what specifically are you looking for in the agent that you hire?
She just said, who can net her the most?
And what does that look like to you?
More money.
I think she said the one who says that they could.
That's
net
what
me
she
the
said,
most.
right? Yeah, because I wrote the
Says,
question.
we could say anything.
Mm-hmm.
I would go into that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, dig down, but eventually, how will the seller know? They'll know, the seller will know who said they can net the most, but how will they know they
Promise.
can deliver?
Well, you can ask, like, do you want me to tell you the truth, or do you want me to lie to you, or do you want someone to tell you the truth or lie to you? Because if you're saying that someone to net you more, or you feel that will net you more, then you telling me that you want me to lie to you. Is that what you want?
Okay, that's.
Do we have an analogy of somebody promising somebody something, but they don't necessarily, they can't prove they can deliver? Do we have
What
an
if-
analogy for that?
I mean,
What about just showing the market stats?
yeah,
Well,
I would look either the market stats, or I would say I can't guarantee that I'm going to net you the most money, because the market is going to tell us what your home is worth.
What you have to do, though, guys, is help her understand. She's going to have to take a leap of faith on one of the 5.
Right.
So I would ask, let me just go with you, Ashley. Ashley, whoever says, you said whoever says they can net you the most, right?
Yep.
So if somebody came in and said they're going to net you 500, what would you think?
Well, within reason.
Oh, so that's not really the criteria then. Well, whoever says it, how are you going to make a decision on who to hire?
Based on how much money they can net me by what they're willing to do to get my property sold.
So we've all gone over, I'm your third appointment, correct? So I'm assuming the other 2 agents showed you what is sold, what's available, correct?
Yep.
Was there a difference in basically in the forecast of what your home might sell for? Now, notice from my standpoint, I don't price homes. So somebody asked the question what she wanted. I think that was Louise. So did any of the other, all 3 of us, did we show you something different that was available or sold?
It was about the consistent.
Now remember it will always be consistent. Why? Because that's, unless somebody doesn't do any homework. If an agent goes in there and does the homework, you're looking at the same information. True?
Mm-hmm.
So then are you going to base your decision based on what they show you or what they tell you? And if they tell you they can get more, will they guarantee it?
Okay.
What you do is plant a seed of doubt. They're going to have to make a decision without all the information. They're going to take a step of faith somewhere. So maybe you then basically say, and then if you make the wrong decision, you're stuck with them for 180 days, most likely. How would you like to have a program where you're not stuck for 180 days? For example, something like that. I have a 1-week listing. 1 week.
So you would list them for a week?
Yep.
I have.
Have you? And then
Yeah.
they just extend, obviously.
I have a 24-hour cancellation guarantee.
There you go.
Okay. Okay. I like that.
So why
What
don't
was
you
that,
add
Zeke?
some guarantees?
Wait. Tell me more about this, because this blows my mind. What happens when I don't sell in the first week?
Well, I'm not
It's
saying
not necessary. Yeah. It's not about
They're
selling.
not gonna
It's about
let you-
performing.
Yeah,
So
they are
then
not
you
gonna
just
let
like
you-
you're establishing the relationship,
Yeah,
and then through your expertise, care, service, then you're just extending the agreement.
yeah, they're gonna fall
So
in love.
They
McCall,
get to watch for a week what you do, who you are, how they feel, and they get to really be actively involved in it for a week. Yeah.
what is the term
Okay.
on the listing agreement? Does it actually have a 1 week term?
Yes.
No, I mean, I could say it's, I have it for 180 days rounded to the end of the month. Where I say, listen, Louise, we can do paperwork every week, which is kind of a big fat waste of time. But here's the deal. I put it in writing. Here it is. Here's a guarantee. If I'm doing something that you're unhappy with and I can't correct it inside of a week, we're going to rip up this agreement. Does that sound fair? And let me tell you what, there's never been a seller that says that doesn't sound fair when I list it. Now, one more thing that I do, you guys, is this. Now, does it happen? No, not very often, but you're protected on anyone you show the home to, and you're protected on, you're protected on a fee for any other agent that show the home that will give you the name. You'll have to present the names. So when if they want to, and this helps them not backdoor you and list with a brother-in-law. Anyone that basically that you provide them inside that week when you give them the cancellation. Here are the list of people that I've showed the home to, and here I'll ask you, hey, look, I want to protect your buyer because this buyer, they may go by owner. They have to exclude from their next listing agreement. Now, again, most listing agreements, ones in Florida, if you relist with somebody else, there's no more. The past showings don't matter anymore. My agreement states they have to exclude them from their next listing because I'm going to get a fee on that. Now, does it ever go down that way? No. However, my agreement has teeth. The bottom line, and Z, you get this. Hey, listen. 1 week, I have seen agents hold their seller's feet to the fire for 180 days. You think that's not a plus? Or say, look, test drive me. What quality product wouldn't give you a guarantee? I come with a guarantee. You're going to have to take a step face somewhere, Ashley. You know, why take a 6-month risk? Let's just go for a week.
Louis, you have a cancellation guarantee.
See, we have a 24-hour cancellation.
Cancellation guarantee. Louis she has it. She has the cancellation guarantee 24 hours. I have one the listing with 24-hour guarantee.
And what I say is the contract has a start date and an end date. And I want you to know we have this 24-hour cancellation guarantee, and I slide it over to you, and it says at any given time, you can cancel this with a 24-hour notice. So that essentially means, and this is where it hooks up. So Z, what that means is I have to earn your business each and every day.
Right.
I like that one.
So I'm curious, when you guys take a 1 week listing, let's say for me, if I take a listing, I literally have a standard. I have to have professional photography, and it actually costs me money. Why would I want to take a 1 week listing if I'm always showing out?
That's why I asked Susan that question, or Peggy that question. I don't have a short period of time on the term. I have a fixed term, and it sounds like you have a fixed term on your contracts. And this cancellation guarantee, this other sheet of paper, gives you the comfort in knowing that you're not going to be anchored or stuck with someone. I'm not going to put a chain around your neck for that term. You can exercise this clause if you would like.
It's just to make them feel comfortable that you are not, like Louis said, you are not going to hold them down. You know, they believe me, after you give them the timeline to say, this is what I'm doing for you to make sure this house sell. At the end of the day, it's making them feel, because I have seen clients and I give them the cancellation guarantee. They're like, okay, all right, let's sign. You know, that don't mean that you're going to cancel within 24 hours or 1 week. It's just to make them feel comfortable. But you're giving them the timeline, like, this is what I'm going to do. This is when I'm going to take pictures. This is when we're going to put the house on the market. This is when I'm going to do the open house. Believe me, they have all that time. You go through all of that with them, but it's just to make them feel comfortable.
No,
And I
I
have-
know, I understand that, but the point what
I
I'm
have a-
trying to say is you already invested money in your photographer and
I
you're
will-
trying.
Let me help you. Hang on, just listen. Nordstrom's used to, maybe still does, has a great reputation for returns, right? That was their, if you buy tires, you can take it back to Nordstrom's, they'll return them. Now, did they get a lot of returns that probably people took advantage of? Yes. However, in the long run, they were way ahead. So you might get one a year that basically, you bought photography and they cancel on your whatever. The alternative is they want to cancel, in the same period of time, and you don't let them out. Now you've got the disgruntled people out there. Believe me, you win more than you lose on it. Louise, you're going to say one more thing?
I just have to type it. We have a caveat, and we're very transparent about it, Susan. It says in the event that the seller, actually I have it right here. I can read it word for word to you. In the event that the seller cancels this agreement, in the event seller cancels this listing agreement, seller will reimburse Louise Weiss for professional photography fees, and no other fees will be charged to seller.
Right, but that is 1 week cancellation. So even
know-
if they cancel within the week, are they still paying you?
If I incur an expense from the professional photographer and they cancel, I slide it through and they reimburse me. It's a pass-through cost. There's no markup.
Oh, okay, so basically you put that clause in there even if they cancel. But you're taking a listing with 1 week though, the 1 week listing.
I'm not taking a listing for 1 week. I'll let.
Oh, you take it for the term, but they
week. I have
cancel.
a fixed term and it's not a week.
But if they want to cancel in a week, they can cancel, correct?
They can cancel 24 hours after I leave. If I haven't incurred professional photography expenses. I don't
The
have-
term doesn't matter.
It's just, it gives them comfort. There are people who are commitment phobic. My husband proposed to me 6 months after we met. I didn't marry him for 5 years. I am commitment phobic. I needed this cancellation guarantee.
I got that. I
Yeah.
appreciate that, Louise.
All right, let's move. We got a few more minutes. Yeah, I trust that's an idea, McCall. You'll let, Crockpot, maybe it's something you can use. I'm happy to share my verbiage. I don't
Yeah,
like.
please do. This is mind blowing to me. I have not heard of anybody in my market doing this.
I don't.
But
do
I
the
love it.
24
I love it. I get the reverse psychology of it. Like you said, it's giving them the peace of mind that if you piss them off, they can just cancel. And the likelihood that that's going to happen is very rare.
And I also say, McCall, in the event, like when I introduce it, I say, in the event you're not satisfied with something, we would like the opportunity to address it and satisfy it to you, or address it to your satisfaction. And if we're not able to do that within 24 hours, and Denny, it sounds like yours is a week, then feel free, you have the ability to cancel this or exercise this cancellation.
It's
Yeah,
almost
no,
the
I
same.
love that. I love it.
Yeah.
The only reason I give it a week is most likely they're not going to do this in the first 7 days. It's 35 days or 60 days or who knows what. And during that time, you have showings. I need time to get those buyers we showed names. I need time to call the 18 agents that showed the house, if they're willing to give me at least the initial and the last name, so I can protect them. I need that time to get that information. It also becomes kind of a little bit of a golden handcuff, is that when they go to the next agent to list, they've got 12 people they have to exclude. Now imagine if you're the next listing agent and there's 12 people to exclude, how are you going to like that in your listing?
No.
I would like to see that. Like your fine print.
Yeah, if you can, Denny, do you mind sharing?
Maybe.
Along with your blood type and your social security and your mother's maiden name, please.
Yeah.
Bank account number, please.
All right. So this has been helpful. I'll make sure I get that out. Anybody else wants it? I'm Coach Denny at Gmail. I don't want to put it online, so I don't put it in the chat. So Coach Denny Grimes at Gmail. Coach Denny Grimes at Gmail. So we got a few more minutes yet. Who wants to go? Who has hands up? We had like 20 some people here, so we lost some during that conversation. Who's next? Lorraine, do you want to do something? Or Sherry Sherry,
I do have an escape clause that I will offer on a case-by-case basis. So if I'm on a listing appointment and I know that there's other people that they are considering, but they are willing now to sign with me, but I could see that they're on the fence, I will put it in writing that if I don't do everything that I promised, and it's usually after the first month, and we don't have an offer and acceptance, then I will allow them to get out of that 6-month listing at that point.
good.
It's an escape clause.
Sherry.
So what,
Go. One more, let's go to Sherry. And we have a question, Susan, go ahead, really fast.
what happened if a seller doesn't want to list the 6 months and they'll only give you 3 months?
I'll take it because I know it'll sell by then, because I always price my properties right.
Yeah.
That's why I have the cancellation guarantee. I say that this term is irrelevant. You can cancel it at any given time.
Exactly.
So that they overcome that hurdle that I'll apprehend.
There's some that'll be like commitment phobic that will still want you to write in 90 days. Very rare.
Yeah, I had that done with me. He only wanted 3 months. And so eventually we end up extending the agreement anyways, the listing. So
Well,
like I said, like you say, the term doesn't really matter, but you just have to be able to show your worth and your value.
Sherry, get ready. If people ask me for a 3-month listing, I say, no way. No freaking way. Mine's only a week. So,
Denny, I'll work with somebody. I just don't have an idea, but I'll work with anybody.
no, I got Sherry wants to go.
Okay.
Sherry, that's not your name, but that's what's coming up.
My name is Dr. Nicole
Dr. Nicole?
Tilley. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
We got two doctors in the house.
Nicole, got it, Nicole, got it.
Right.
So Nicole, what do you want to do?
What do we want to do?
5
Throw it at
minutes seller's objection.
Seller.
What? Oh, you know what? Let's do one. Let's do I can pick a random one out of here. Let's see. Oh, these are all buyer ones.
I'm going to list with my uncle. Got it, Nicole? We're at
Got
the
it.
table. I'm going to use my uncle. Thanks for being here. Go.
Well, that sounds like a great idea. And have you done business? Has he sold houses for you before in the past?
Let's go back to the model. Just review. What's the model? You acknowledge. What's the isolation? Other than that.
Other than that, is there any other reason why you would not go forward with allowing me to list your home?
Nope.
Okay, so is there a possibility I can come over and show you how I can sell this house for you and net you the most money?
No, you're at the table now.
Okay. Oh, I am at the table. Okay. So if I was able to include your uncle as a referral fee, so that we would not exclude him from the transaction, would that be a possibility?
I feel pretty bad about that. By the way, don't go there first. That would be the last card you'd lay.
Okay.
I would ask about his record, how many houses has he sold?
Okay, step in, Lorraine, and help. Okay, this is phone a friend, Lorraine.
What about this? Hey, Denny, are you considering hiring your uncle out of obligation or because, or wait, is this an obligation or is this a financial investment for you?
Well, I mean, we're kind of a close family, and I think family is everything. So maybe a little obligation.
So is there a reason why I'm sitting at the table with you, Mr. Grimes?
That's a fair question. That's a fair question, guys. Well, my uncle, he's really a mailman. He does real estate part-time. And so I wanted you to give me some professional information on pricing.
Well, you know what? You just gave yourself the answer because I think it's wise for you to hire a professional to do a professional job in getting your house sold.
No statements, no statements,
Okay, okay.
questions.
So do you think it'd be a good idea to hire a professional for this important transaction?
He's a mail carrier by profession, but he's been dabbling in real estate for probably 4 or 5 years.
Okay, so how about we go with somebody who's professional?
Statement.
If there's a significant financial advantage using me and my team, would you consider that?
Thank you.
Okay, that is okay. How would you ask that question from a pain standpoint? Now notice that's a good question. You're going, that's not pain, that's like gain. What would be a pain question?
Ruining a family relationship.
Maybe that's going to be a point you want to lay on. There's a very strong similar question, Jay. It's like this: are you willing to invest $20,000 into your uncle's real estate career? You guys aren't reacting to that question.
No.
Love that.
You all getting it?
Yeah.
What would
Because I'm losing that money.
Right, you're losing that money as he's learning to
I'm giving him the money.
Well, what would they say? Well, if you can ask a question that make them like, well, what do you mean? Now you can talk to them because what? They've asked a question.
Right.
Well, if your uncle carries mail for a living and does real estate part-time, do you think that the services would be as great as a full-time? By the way, Jay, what do you do for a living?
I'm a full-time realtor. Yep.
No, I know.
No.
I'm a butcher. Okay, I work at the grocery store. I'm a butcher. Okay, well, that doesn't seem too hard to take a knife and just start, cutting meat. So, I mean, you have to then basically you lay the pain on them economically, then you lay the pain on them. All right, what happens if something goes bad, like Lorraine's saying? Is that going to put pressure on the Thanksgiving dinner? And this is where Louise was going. If he wasn't your uncle, would you hire him?
Correct.
So.
But you said that already. You said, no, I'd feel bad. So obviously you wouldn't hire him because you said I would feel bad if I didn't.
But the question, no, if it wouldn't be your husband, it wouldn't be your uncle, you wouldn't hire him. It's like, it's game over. Now it's totally obligation. So, all right. So, I mean, I'm really admiring you. I've never met somebody to sell their house for $20,000 less just to maintain a relationship with their uncle. Can you get to the idea that having conversations sometimes can be fun? And if your pipeline is big enough, it's like, I'm not attached to every sale. I mean, I'm being professional. You can keep it light. Like,
Here's some levity. I heard Lorena Bobbitt was once a butcher.
oh my God.
Luis.
I'll tell you one more before we go. That was good. I'll tell you one more. This is years ago. I was taking some people around, and these people were from New York, and I was showing them the area, and the one guy, he was a little obnoxious. Not that all people from New York are obnoxious, but he said, "You guys have any undesirables living here?" I said, "What do you mean, people from New York?"
Oh my gosh.
I loved it because he made me mad with a statement. All right, did you guys learn anything today?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
So you guys email me, Coach Denny Grimes at Gmail. I'll send you our cancellation clause and happy to help out. David, good to see you, buddy.
Get that name change.
You all.
All right, love you, mean it, knuckle bump. Be careful out there. Happy hour.
Thank you.